You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, with the Seahawks winning a thrilling 31-27 contest. Did Sam Darnold silence all his doubters with his performance and win against the Rams?
Not all the way.
No.
And I started off the program tonight saying, giving him all the praise in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what the history is. But at the end of the day, I agree with Nick on this point where I think that he is a legit competent quarterback in the NFL. You don't make it to the Super Bowl being a complete just dumpster fire. He's not seeing ghosts no more. But at the same time, he hasn't calmed down all of the talk because there's still speculation that he can go into the Super Bowl and he looked like he did with Minnesota last year in the playoffs. Like, that's still a possibility. I think that's still part of his game. So he just needs to continue to keep his head down, ball out. You know what I'm saying? And I think with a good look in the Super Bowl, right? Like, it's not about throwing for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns or nothing like that. If he throws for $180 and a touchdown and no turnovers, like, that's a good game. You know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold is an explosive game manager. He has a big arm. He got some wheels. He's an explosive game manager. Don't turn the ball over. And if he could live in that mindset and dominate that, then yes, that's when you calm down all of the talk. But he's not there yet. He's on his way, but he's not there yet. But I again tip the hat to Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. They're good, but Sam ain't the man just yet.
Yeah, they deserve a lot of praise for making it to the Super Bowl. I feel like for him, it was really beneficial to play 2 teams in your own division in these playoffs at home.
Yeah.
That to be honest meant a lot. You've seen these teams twice this year, each one of them, San Francisco and the Rams. So you kind of knew what to expect. And that last Rams game should have gave him a lot of confidence because he had an awful game, yet his team bailed him out in that last game to play the Rams. So for me, if I was a quarterback knowing that I had people that had my back like that, it would make it a little easier to play the next game. And he did what he's supposed to do. That's the key. And he went out there and said both teams left the defenses at home. And you had a really, really good game. And it could have honestly went either way. But that defense stepped up for Seattle when you needed them to. They got that crucial 4th down. We were talking about it in the chat. I remember Doc when they was going back and forth about whether they should have went for it or kicked the field goal to go down 1. That was a huge, huge, huge stop by the defense, and it turned the tide of that game. So he does deserve a lot of credit because you made the Super Bowl. I don't care how you got there. You're there. But I don't think he's completely silenced all of his critics as of yet.
Yeah, I think the people have silenced a little bit, but everybody ain't stopped talking yet. He still has one more game. He still got to go out one more game and not look completely terrible. And if there's any coach, as we were just talking about with our last segment, that's going to be able to make him look bad, it's going to be Mike Vrabel. So I have to see how he looks in his Super Bowl and make sure that he's competent to say, okay, yeah, I give Sam Darnold a shot. Like, I'm still not sold if he goes and he sees ghosts in the Super Bowl, even though it's just one game, even though he got him there. I still know that that's there if he performs that way on the biggest stage, which was what we seen in Minnesota last year. That was the biggest game that they had, and he performed that way. So I'm not sold yet that he's the man, but he has the opportunity to silence everybody on Sunday.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing with Drake May. Win the game, and then we'll see what you are. He's been in the league long enough to where him having a good game like he did on Sunday isn't out of the norm, or like, I won't say out of the norm, isn't super surprising because he was a top 3 pick, came out of USC hot, and then the Jets fucked him up, and then he's been bouncing around since then. He's been at the shit. He has a lot of experience playing against the Rams because that's the last team he faced when he was with Minnesota when they kicked his ass out. So it's good to kind of see him get his revenge on that. But this Seattle team is just different. I think they're in a groove. They got momentum, and it showed throughout that whole game. Honestly, the Rams shit the bed too, though, because that muff punt. I've never seen a guy try to catch a punt falling down backwards. Like, he should have known he was get out the way, nigga. Like, and he almost muffed the punt before that.
The first one is
After that, bro, they got him. They took him out. He cut. They gonna hit him with the Jimmy. They gonna hit him with the Jimmy Johnson. Like, nigga, you ain't on this team no more. Because like the game was going back and forth at that point, and the fact that he even got to one possession was crucial. But of course, you give Sam Darnold all the credit because he went toe for toe with Matthew Stafford. But my thing was Sean McVay fucked this game up too. That fourth down, if you're gonna go for it, that play call was just dumb. Like, to only have, was it Ferguson, whoever the fuck his name is, go across the middle and you have everybody going out was stupid because they literally could not guard Devontae or Puka. And even then, Matt Stafford, if you watch it, right when he threw it to Cuz, Puka was coming, like he did like a pivot route out. If he would just waited 1 second and looked at Puka's way, they probably would have got the first down at least, if not a touchdown. And then the game is a little bit different. But I know that's a lot of ifs, and I'm only drinking water. So, Seattle did their thing. They almost fucked it up, but they didn't. But, yeah, I think Sam Darnold is he's in an interesting place right now because he could – if he wins this game, he ain't got to do shit else. He could just say, shit, I did everything I was supposed to do in the NFL, bro. I was a top 3 pick, and people expected me to change the franchise and win. Seattle has not been in this position since Russ, so that's over 10 years. Yeah, he'll do it. He can get his dick sucked at any time for the rest of his life in Seattle if he win this game. I'll tell you that.
I'm indifferent. I don't really care about Sam Darnold.
Man, Matt Stafford was cooking, bro. he was.
Hold on, Ken. Don't even go there, because I heard two niggas last week say if he don't win this game, it's on him. And I told him he can ball out and it still won't win.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to hear you, Doc. Nigga, ain't nobody remember your shit.
Well, we're gonna get to Stafford and McVay. Here's what I want to say about Darnold real quick. He should have silenced his doubters. You know, and I understand it's really, really hard to remove what we saw when he was a Jet. But the Jets have proven that they're god-awful. And one of the reasons why I asked that question a couple of weeks ago about could this have been the Sam Darnold without going to the Jets? If he just went with the competent coach that could utilize his skill sets, because he went top 3 for a reason. We saw he had a turnover issue in college, but they excused it. But they dogged Jameis Winston when he had his turnovers. But for whatever reason, they gave Sam Darnold a pass. But that's neither here nor there. But he was drafted off his talents, and he went to a god-awful organization that didn't know how to utilize him. And then he went out and said he started seeing ghosts, et cetera, et cetera. He went away. He rehabilitated his career, and then he came back, and now he's been winning games with competent coaches. Eerily similar, by the way, to Geno Smith, the way that people were talking highly about Geno Smith, and gave him all the praise, but yet we can't seem, or people can't seem to do the same for Sam Darnold. It's really interesting how that's working. But I think just removing like the talking points and really analyzing what's being seen from what he's doing. Quarterback's going to have up and down games. Quarterback's going to have good games. They're going to have bad games. You play against a good defense, you're going to have a mediocre to average game, especially depending on your level of talent as a quarterback. But you just don't go to the Super Bowl, bro. It's just, regardless. And I think for them to go to the Super Bowl based off his back, for him to have a 28-6 record, I believe, over the last 2 years, like people thought last year was a fluke. And then he turned around and redid it with a completely different organization, completely different coach. and they went to the Super Bowl off his arm and off the arm of the punt returner from that punt. But I think he deserves. I think he should have silenced his critics and his doubters.
Two things, Ken. Number one, do you know that Sam Darnold is the most winningest quarterback since he took the starting snap when he was in Carolina? Since that moment forward, he's been the most winningest by percentage quarterback in the NFL, regardless of Minnesota, Seattle, whatever. So by percentage, he's number one since he became a starter again. And the point that you made with Geno, the difference with Geno, Ken, was that once Geno was out of the Jets, we ain't see him. We ain't watch him play. He just reemerged, and it was like, oh, he's solid. Okay, cool. This is his opportunity. We've seen the best and the worst of Sam Darnold. Like, he's been front and center. Like, we've seen the blunders. We've seen it look bad. Where Geno, it was kind of rocky with the Jets. Then he disappeared, and then he was a starter again.
So it was more of a feel-good story.
Yeah, like we felt for Geno because obviously, his situation, he got punched in the jaw, talking too much shit, this, that, and the third, woo-de-woo. Then he came back as a starter. You know what I'm saying? With Sam Darnold, it's like we got the quotes of seeing ghosts. We got just as recent as last year, like he looked like questionable in the playoffs, Ken. So his roller coaster ride has been a lot more up and down, which is why people have way more questions about Sam Darnold than they did about Geno.
Hey, what's crazy too about Sam Darnold is he's in the past 2 seasons he's won 30 games. In the past 6 seasons, Jets only won 28. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Organizations, man, they matter. We see it all the time. And who was in his draft class again?
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I think Baker Mayfield. And somebody
Josh
else.
Rosen.
Yeah, he ain't even in the league. He got out the league the second year.
Deserved to be.
Yeah. And Lamar and Josh Allen deserve all the praise because we're talking about MVPs. They were in better organizations. They developed quicker and faster. Sam may be a late
Is
bloomer,
Buffalo a better organization at this point?
Josh Allen was winning, though, and he's an MVP. So, out of that class, they were cream of the crop. And maybe it just took Sam going to an organization that's able to utilize him better. We'll see what the rest of his career is like. And if he falls off, the critics will come back around again. If he plays bad in the Super Bowl, people are going to say shit. But I think to get this far, to do this back-to-back seasons with a different team and a different head coach, I think he deserves some credit. And I think right now people are quiet. And they need to be quiet. Until he give him a reason to be loud again.
But Ken and Jay, my bad, real quick. Did the Rams lose this game or the Seahawks win it? That's what I really want to know.
That's the next question. Who's to blame for this loss, Stafford or McVay? Nick, I'm with McVay, man. Look, I jumped on Ben Johnson last week, and McVay the same thing, bro. Like, I understand that you got the ball with 25 seconds left, but Stafford made 2 good throws, and if Puka probably would have been out of bounds, you're right there within field goal range, depending on how things go. And we don't know how the game would have played if he would have kicked the field goal, but you give yourself more of an opportunity to win being down by 1 point versus 4. And he didn't do that. And I get it. Mm-hmm. Stafford was cooking, bro. He was throwing some really, really great passes. That one he threw to Devontae Adams on the sideline, where it just landed right.
Oh, that when Devontae, we talk about route running.
Man,
that looked like the old Devontae.
He cooked whoever, bro. And Devontae ain't a speed guy at all. He is a pure route runner, bro.
Nah, Nick, talk about the quarterback, nigga.
No. That's why I said I think it's equal. I think it's 50-50, and it's based off that last drive. Sean McVay threw that 4th and 4 horrible play call by Sean McVay, and Stafford should have been more patient because in that situation, I'm only looking at I'm looking at 17 and 12. I ain't looking at nobody else. I know he had the running back.
But they took away their man. They took away those 2 options.
You can't, but he didn't have a closing pocket, so he still had time to wait a little bit. I'm telling you, if you look at that play, Puka was coming out of that break to where he could, Puka, he don't give a fuck. He gonna try to catch everything that's thrown his way, regardless. I still think if Matt Stafford should have been a little bit more patient, especially because the season is on the line with that. Because once he didn't make it, that's the game. Like, I don't give a fuck what. Ken, that defense wasn't stopping nobody. That's why Sean McVay went for it, because he knew even if I'm down by one, that defense, they could just score at the other end. You don't know what was going to happen.
Maybe, but he was running. They had just got to stop.
No, I'm saying no, Jalen. I'm agreeing with you. I know what I said in the chat. I said they should have kicked the field goal to make it to give him a chance. But I'm saying if you're gonna go for it, make sure it only goes to those two motherfuckers. The fact that it didn't, and it was a bad play call, it just by design, because he had everybody going out except for the that white boy over across the middle. It was just like that doesn't even give you an opportunity to even have options on the.
But they disguised the rush. They only rushed two, bro.
Yeah, that was
they disguised the rush.
Excellent defensive call.
I told you the defense was great. Y'all, you sit here and act for that defense to be that good, and Stanford and for Matt Stafford to do what
that defense was not great. That defense was not great because they gave him.
No, it wasn't that
points.
game. Oh God!
Well, they made some mistakes. But here's the thing about it, though. You saw Sean McVay run down to call a timeout. He didn't do it. I think that he saw like something that he didn't like, and he should have called that timeout when he came down. He came down the line, so he was right there to call the timeout on that fourth down and backed off it and just ran the play. So that was the difference in the game.
So who you blame for that?
McVay's arrogance.
McVay.
Who you blame, Doc?
Special teams.
He ain't lying though.
No,
but I think that's on the coach. The coach saw him fumble and then take him out. This motherfucker trying to catch a ball too late. Like he's doing like fucking damn making snow angels. What the fuck is that?
Hey, real talk. He got paid, kid. Somebody paid him to do. Lou, have you ever seen anything like that in the playoffs, bro? I don't think I've ever seen.
He was seeing them ghosts. That's what it was.
It wasn't even ghosts, bro. It was like he knew he was stumbling. If I knew I'm stumbling, I'm like, all right, let me get the fuck up out the way because I'm not catching this bitch. Especially because
somebody check his FanDuel Prize Picks. Let's see who he had.
He was stumbling because he was nervous. He wasn't stumbling because he was.
That's the second time he did it though.
But I'm just saying, like
that's what I'm saying.
If you knew you don't have the footing, you know falling back. He thought he was gonna catch it on his like he David Tyree just gonna catch it on his fucking helmet. Like, come on, bro. That was so stupid. And then Sam took advantage of it as he should, throwing that touchdown immediately after going up 10. Once they went up 10, it was like. Because they fucked up giving up that wide open touchdown to JSN before the half. When it's like, out of everybody on this damn field offensively, double team this nigga. I will let anybody else. Cooper Kupp can go off on this game. I don't care. JSN cannot beat us, and that's exactly what happened. K9 killed him in the first half. JSN killed him in the second half.
Rams defense has been suspect all postseason, bro. I knew that was
they played great against the Bears.
Well, that was great play calling too by Kubiak. He was putting him in position to get the ball, taking him from the back. He was running from the backfield out on plays. He was doing everything. They put him in position to make plays, and he made the plays.
What did he say, Lou?
What I said?
You said taking it from the back, my boy.
He said taking it from the back.
Where that pause at?
Jalen.
Super pause.
Come on, Jalen.
We was on a good streak, Sheldon.
I know, man. I'm more upset with myself.
You should, man.
But nah, that defense was not great against Chicago, bro. That defense wasn't great against Chicago.
That defense made plays, though. That defense made plays.
Yeah, they made plays.
And then Caleb gave them a play. Well, no, DJ Moore gave them a play to keep them. They gave them that win, bro. So nah, man. I told y'all last week, bro. Like it was gonna be on Matt Stafford because the defense was gonna be suspect.
I'm just saying they had three takeaways in that game. That defense, regardless, made plays. This defense in this game made no plays at all. They did not.
Well, that's partly because of Caleb, though. It wasn't because if Caleb was a more seasoned quarterback, he probably don't make those stupid throws or those turnovers.
Maybe, but either way. Yeah, this is to me. It's a shared pie between McVay and Stafford. Stafford, you the MVP. You got to win the game. And McVay, you gotta. If you gonna be that, if you're supposed to be that nigga, you gotta call a better. Like you should have a play better than on 4th and 4, especially since you don't even need the first down to get a touch. Like you can get the first down and not have a touchdown. Like at least get the first down.
Nick and Spike, what does it say? What does it say about his legacy? Because y'all said this was a legacy game for him.
I still think it was.
80 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did what he's supposed to do, as far as I'm concerned. And y'all know
legacy game for who you talking about, McVay or Stafford? Yeah, this was for Stafford. This was his Hall of Fame. This was his Hall of Fame run that he was supposed to be on.
Yeah,
if he don't get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I think it's the difference between he might get in, but this is the difference between him getting in soon and them remembering. Like, oh yeah, Matt Stafford won that Super Bowl that time. He can get in. Like if he had won this game and gotten to the Super Bowl, win or lose in the Super Bowl, he's going to the Hall of Fame relatively quickly. But now it's like, oh okay, he's gonna be.
Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Lamar definitely is not
Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen,
without a Super Bowl.
I don't know
without a Super Bowl.
They can both get in,
but
they both can get in without.
Lamar's another MVP.
Lamar's a 2-time MVP.
Yeah,
you went to MVP.
But the point, I guess, the point though is that like it feels like the criteria is different, like the evaluations are different. Lamar and Josh Allen get in and haven't even been to a Super Bowl
because they were relevant.
He got 2 MVPs. Lamar,
they were relevant from day one. You had Matt Stafford in Siberia.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hold on.
It does matter. He played irrelevant football for 10 years.
He played with nobody.
He played with Calvin Johnson.
He had
Chill out.
one receiver, bro.
It's not one receiver. He had one of the greatest receivers of all time.
We're talking career, Spike. We're talking career, though. We're talking career.
And he's a quarterback, and quarterbacks are measured off wins. He went his entire career until he got to Los Angeles before we even considered him a winner. I don't even know if he went to the playoffs in Detroit.
He did.
Did you think that? He did. He went twice, I think.
I think it was like
coach.
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he made the playoffs. He won games in Detroit. But when we're looking at the resume, Stafford has a Super Bowl. Stafford will get an MVP more than likely. It seems like. And when you're saying and throwing the other 2 guys that haven't been to a Super Bowl or even won one into the Hall of Fame. That shit is not adding up. The case for Lamar, I get because he has 2 MVPs.
I ain't say Josh.
But even still, though, Lamar has had playoff failures.
Stafford is in there.
Let me ask you this, Ken. Is Kurt Warner a Hall of Famer?
He's already in the Hall of Fame. What are you talking about?
Already in the Hall
He's in the Hall of Fame. What are you talking about?
I'm asking Ken if he should be a Hall of Famer. I ain't say he should be in.
Kurt Warner was dialing it up. He was motherfuckers up, bro.
So then you saying Stafford should be a Hall of Famer then?
I don't think it was as I'm not with the narrative that it was a legacy game. He needed that game or this run to validate his Hall of Fame career.
I'm mostly saying that because
did Kurt Warner go to 2 Super Bowls though? 3. Kurt Warner went to 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah. The only reason I can say he did because he gets the dual thing. He won a Super Bowl and he's going to get an MVP. And he played well down the stretch like he was supposed to. He didn't win the game, but wasn't about winning and losing this game for me with him. It was how well he played, and he played excellent. He played well enough to win this game. He didn't do anything to lose it,
but he didn't.
My thing is as a number 1 overall pick, you're supposed to change your franchise, and he didn't change Detroit. He had to go. He had to go somewhere else with a potentially Hall of Fame head coach to be coached
on a stacked team.
On a stacked team.
Name 2 coaches that he had in Detroit.
He had Jim Caldwell and he had Jim Schwartz.
Great coaches, right?
Jim Caldwell. They didn't give Jim Caldwell enough time to be a great coach.
Yeah,
they
Jim
fired
Caldwell
his ass.
was that.
Okay, so again, he had great coaches.
Okay, did Joe Burrow got a great coach? He went to a Super Bowl with a shitball franchise.
That nigga has 2 elite receivers, my boy.
Okay. Is Calvin Johnson not better than Jamar Chase?
He has 2 elite receivers.
You keep on trying to move this goalpost of James.
Name any other player other than Calvin Johnson that was on the Detroit team.
Name
one.
Ndamukong Suh.
An okay play, a good.
He wasn't okay. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's a good player. He's a good player. Come on, man. Don't put that on Matt Stafford, bro.
So if If Dakota Prescott left Dallas and won a Super Bowl somewhere, y'all would put him in the Hall of Fame?
He would have a case especially if he get an MVP.
Yeah,
the numbers support it. You look at his numbers. His numbers are good.
Different.
Red
to me.
You just don't like him, but each year that gets better, bro. I know you don't like him, but each year that gets better. That's just you don't.
Dak has been putting up numbers. The thing about Stafford is that we saw, and Spike, you saw it too. Nick, you as well. Like we saw Stafford wasted his talent in Detroit. We watched it. We were like, man, if he ever get out of Detroit, how many times have we ever talked about great players stuck on bad organizations and talking about them getting away from the organization and going elsewhere? This is the conversation that happens all the time.
But that's two different conversations. That's one conversation about failing organizations and how they fail their players. It's another conversation when we talk about players who put themselves in the Hall of Fame based off what they've done with those organizations, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to give credit. I'm not giving credit to Stafford for being with a great coach on a winning team, that team that went to the Super Bowl before he even got there. So we knew that they had the bones. They just needed the quarterback versus a quarterback. That ain't true either. Versus a quarterback. They did. They went with Jared Goff like a few years before that. And
off some bullshit. And you know I'm going to say it. Off some bullshit.
Hey, listen, that happens in football. You know what I'm saying? That's football. Man. But I'm saying, like, Stafford had, a decade. He was on an 0-16 team, was he not? Like, he had a whole decade in Detroit. That wasn't him?
No, that was not him.
Well,
that was Dan Orlovsky.
I think it was him too. Either way, he didn't really do shit in Detroit outside of a few years, and we just blame the organization. That's fine that they failed him, but he was the number 1 overall pick, bro. I expect a lot from number 1 overall. That's why I gave Caleb hell. That's why we talk about Joe Burrow the way we do. Like, we talk about a lot of these quarterbacks who Baker Mayfield, for example, like what you say, Sheldon, he who is given a lot is asked of a lot. And he didn't do what he was supposed to do in Detroit, but I'm glad he's doing it in LA. He got the veneers to show it.
So that nigga, if he was the Jets, it'd be totally different. If it was the Jets he was playing for, it'd be the same argument.
That's why
I'm just saying, when was the Jets? If the Jets have a number 1 overall pick as a quarterback and he don't do shit, I'm gonna say it's the Jets, but it's also the quarterback didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Sam Darnold you know what?
Sam Darnold's the top 3 quarterback. He wasn't one.
Yeah, he wasn't. But anyway,
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.